take a look at this and tell me what you guys think of this. He's going to announce, just going to say this and not the whole thing. Let me just make sure that you guys are seeing this. Okay, so Joe's about to announce that he is in Pottery Barn. And he said we, so I'm assuming maybe he's not by himself this time, maybe there with his family, what's going on. And he just says, should the Eagles bench Jalen Hurts now? What's the joke? And then he gives us a whole bunch of hashtags, and then he's talking about his tour. So let's find out what this is. I don't understand. He's asking a question about sports, of course. And he's now in Pottery Barn. I don't know if it's going to be his family or what's going to happen here, but just take a look and see and listen very carefully to this.
Pottery Barn right now, and we're going to ask them if we can film in here. Can we? We're looking for like, yeah, we're looking for some chairs and stuff. And I said,
can we like try out?
Can we sit? You don't care if we film ourselves?
So what he's saying here, just in case people aren't, is he and another person, I don't know who this other voice is, Joe's trying not to make it as obvious, but the other person doesn't even care. He has no shame at all. And he's asking somebody in the store, thankfully they didn't just go and do it, so I give them credit for that. He's asking somebody in Pottery Barn, which is a very nice store, can we go and people try out the couches. So they figured, hey, we can try out the couches and put the camera on and do a podcast.
So you need a permit here to do this. Like you can't.
Well, that's not what they say. That's not what they say.
Okay, I know, but like,
right?
It's just okay. All right, let's see, because
so he's
you need a Karen. You need a Karen to intervene and tell somebody they need a permit to.
They need to get the fuck out. Okay, so I'm going to rewind it so people can hear this again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen to both voices.
This is in We're in Pottery Barn right now, and we're going to ask them if we can film in here. Can we? We're looking for like, yeah, we're looking for some chairs and stuff. And I said,
can we like try out?
Can we sit? You don't care if we film ourselves?
People come and sit on the couches and you're in the chair. So
let's try this one. That looks pretty fun.
Yeah, this will be a good podcast.
It looks like a podcast studio right now. Jalen Hurts.
It looks like a podcast studio right now. He's totally psyched. It looks like they have, a wonderful studio, but he's definitely doesn't have money or time to get one of those any longer.
Well, so interesting that we watched part of the night where I filmed inside Joe's show and started off by asking, is it cool to film?
Yeah.
And he did it too.
Yeah.
So I just love that similarity.
Okay, there's a connection.
You see, there's a connection between me.
All right, well, moving on. He's in he wants to look. I mean, this is it's like the whole theme with Joe is that looks can be deceiving, and I want to trick everybody to make us look like we're doing something. We're better than what we are.
Right.
And so here he is with the backdrop. This guy over here, I don't know who he is. He looks bored as, and Joe again with the Cougars and the hat, the same sport. And he's talking about sports. And they're not. They're recording in a Pottery Barn. One of them has.
Let's talk about that. Because I think
it doesn't get worse than this, Karen. I don't know what to say. I mean, I give them credit. Like if they were, I'm sorry to interrupt. If they were 13 or 14-year-old kids, I would think they were brilliant. Like you're allowed to sit on the thing, go bring in the camera. It's amazing. Like that would be brilliant. But these are like, I don't know how old this other guy is, but Joe's 60 almost. All right, Karen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you were fine. I just want to make sure this is explored as someone who is, spent money on podcast studios. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, recently, in fact.
Okay, and I also.
And you're not even on video in those podcast studios. Oh,
right.
God.
And so I remember feeling. The only thing one time when I did episode 6 of Virgin Yeah, we were trying to get a picture in a record store, and that was making
Oh
people
God.
uncomfortable. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that very well.
Okay. So I've done this. That's what I love. I have another connection to Joe. Like, I love when we watch Joe's antics, and before I critique them, I recognize that I've done them too.
That's very different. You were just wanting to take a picture because you were in New York City and you wanted a backdrop. You didn't like act like you didn't sit in the record store and record a podcast in there. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. So all right, I just think this is really odd. But good for them. Good for them that they are the kind of people that have the uh,
Ball.
gumption. Yeah, the gumption to do that and get away with it. I wonder if every person would be able to do that. I don't know. Like, I don't think so. But like, go ahead.
2-0, the Eagles. They won the Super Bowl last year. They only lost 2 games last year. They had an excellent season. So the Eagles are 2-0, but Philly fans, being Philly fans, are upset that Jalen Hurts has had really low passing yards.
Yeah.
What's the joke about people worrying in Philly about Jalen Hurts before it even happened? He's 2-0.
So that's like if
Yeah, worrying about something that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
But it did happen. He has low yards, but they still won.
that's like you're pregnant, the baby that hasn't even been born yet, going to be
mentally
or
handicapped.
something.
But they can let you
Just
know
stop.
that way,
Stop.
Chance, and
Just
you can
stop.
decide.
Just stop.
Oh God.
Just stop. I these look, people out here, like I'm trying to inspire Joe. I want to inspire you. Okay. I want to inspire you watching right now, if I can, to put Netflix away, turn off Netflix, turn off Hulu, turn off Amazon Prime. Okay? You're the star of your show, and you have a spark in you. It could be about an instrument, it could be about sculpture or art or crossword puzzles, as I, learned that lesson. But I want you to live your passion. I don't want you to be sitting on some bench in Pottery Barn talking about sports and comparing it to the birth of mentally handicapped child. Like, this is wrong. Okay? Because the people aren't living like their passion. They have nothing to say. They're saying the wrong things.
That's true. Right. That is definitely true. I mean, he drags this guy in. I don't know who he is, but of course, any guy that agrees to do something like this is most likely not going to be great.
This is going to be really bad, and I usually don't look at car wrecks, but go ahead.
I just also want to say, you have every right to tell him what you just said, and to tell everybody, like, turn off Netflix, turn this off, and follow your passion and do your passion and run your own life, because that's really what you did when you started Bird's Ear View.
Yeah.
And you've been doing that now for 6 years, every single day.
And I inspire people, and I in outside of music too. Like, I'll talk to
Absolutely.
if I talk to someone who runs a fruit stand, I'll treat them with respect. I treat everyone with respect, to the best of
course.
my ability. And then, there's honor in all professions. And I'll want to know, like, about what they did or how they got their start, or,
Yeah.
like, you were with me one time, I think, when we were at a supermarket checkout line, and there was a woman working the counter, and she looked like sad and
Yeah.
like in another world, like and just going through the
I
motions of
remember
her
that.
life.
Yeah.
And I said, and she said something, and I went, "You're great." And
Yeah.
she said, "No, I'm not great." And I
Oh.
said, "Yes, you are."
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I do remember
Yeah,
that.
you are great.
So
Like
you made a whole night.
you are great. You come to work.
Yeah.
You are human. You're unique. That's what I just want to tell everybody out there. And I'm so glad that this is happening, because the fact that it's going to be in the back end of the show like this lets me know that it's worth it for people to still be watching. And what, from start to finish, we try to make it compelling. We try never to have it be dated, you know what I mean, or as best we can. We try to have it. Does this look better? Because like right now, I'm looking at the camera, like
Yeah,
like
it looks great.
as opposed to me looking down, right?
That's okay. Yeah, but this looks good. Yeah.
This right here.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to do this more, but I just love looking at myself
Like
so
you're
much.
looking at yourself. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
that's
it's like I can't take it. I waited decades for this. You know what I mean?
of course. And I wasn't gonna say anything. And it's nothing really wrong with looking down like that, but yeah, if you can look straight ahead, that there's
All right,
definitely
cool. I'll try my best with that.
it's wonderful that you want to look at yourself and feel good about it because you should.
Yeah, so I inspire people, and I just want people to uh, live their passion, and so forth. Let's watch these people. Um, uh,
Not do that.
yeah, let's watch these people melt.
Okay. All right. I don't know where he found this guy.
If you want to abort your child.
Right.
So we can decide if we want to abort
Right.
Jalen Hurts
Yeah.
now, before it's happened. Let's get
Right.
rid of him.
Can you do an amnios on him?
You bring the backup in right away. It hasn't
Right.
even happened yet. It'd
Yeah.
be so funny if he started next week, and those people would be so upset if the starter wasn't Jalen Hurts. That like they went, you know what? These people are right. People always make that
Yeah.
joke, like that no football, when you're watching it with somebody who's just not an athlete, and they're just yelling things that make no sense.
Right.
We're in potty.
So Joe, first of all, I just want to say this. I'm not going to really comment on what he just said because it's just too much. But Joe, the day that Joe learned how to kind of like transpose and put other things in here, little clips and things in and out, he does it too much. It's just like he thinks it looks great, and he thinks it's a big deal, but it actually looks
Well, I have a couple of points to
amateur.
that.
Go ahead.
It's not even good for what they're doing.
Right.
Okay, like that. It ended weird,
Right.
and like those things were so weird. Like those word things that you're talking about. It
Yeah,
just
it was just too much.
but-
A remote control flashes across the middle of the screen.
let me put this in a way that everyone can appreciate.
He's trying, working hard, but go
No,
ahead.
no, Joe. This did not rise to asking some dude from Pottery Barn if you could use their facility to record. Like, okay, if you wrote some screenplay and there was like like a critical scene on a bed, that you needed to do. Okay,
It had to have a white, red thread.
for your
Pillows.
for your NYU film project. Like, yeah. Like, okay, but you're coming in to talk about sports, bro.
He didn't even use the backdrop that much from the store. He should have done that, actually, if you're gonna go and do that. But he didn't really do that much.
He didn't do that. it didn't rise to pot. It wasn't Pottery Barn-esque.
No, it's not. Pottery Barn
Yeah,
is a nice store, but this was
yeah,
not.
it wasn't. It wasn't. It didn't do Pottery Barn
Joe
justice.
in Pottery Barn,
Like
oxymoron.
at that point, you got to open up the floor, start interviewing shoppers. Like,
Yeah, right, exactly.
start being
Man on
charming.
the street, man.
Yeah,
Pottery Barn. I mean,
yeah.
and the other thing that's really weird about this is I don't know who this other guy is. And apparently Joe didn't tag him in this, so the other guy probably told him like, I don't want to be named. And I don't blame him. The other guy doesn't want to be associated with this. Sure, you can use my face. And but he didn't,
Well, I would worry if I was that guy. He said
yeah.
some
Yeah,
controversial
yeah, no,
things.
I don't even want to get into it, right? That,
You know?
but you see somebody on here agreeing to do this with Joe. What do you think you're gonna get? What do you think you're gonna get? The person that agrees to do this fakakta thing with Joe. What do you think he's gonna get? What do you think you're gonna get? What do you think you're gonna see? You're gonna see exactly what that guy is. I mean, he could be the nicest guy in the world, and maybe he is, but at that moment,
This thing was not worthy of three things: Pottery Barn, or the usage of a camera or microphone.
That's
Okay.
true.
Okay. Neither of those three things. Those two people could have talked
On the
in
street,
an
on a bus
elevator.
stop.
Yeah, that was fine. That was like really cool. That's what you would say in an elevator. Like, yo, are they gonna bench Jalen Hurts? I don't know.
In a
Ding.
car. Could you imagine that that's what they went Pottery Barn for, to ask that question
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, like,
and
you
to
know what I
give
mean.
that answer? I know that's what you're saying.
That's so funny. Like, that's so
That's what they
funny.
went to Pottery Barn for.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It like there was no need for a camera or microphone. Like to it.
So,
Like
Joe, look, I know you
what?
feel like
Hold on. Oh, yeah, wait. What is like? How do you prepare for that? Like, people. How is that the plan? Like,
Joe, come on. We're I know it seems like we're picking on you, but this is the reason. Like, Joe, you can't be this clueless and so misguided. It's like you reached beyond rock bottom right now. I mean, there are backdrops on these things where you could change the background and you don't have to go in Pottery Barn for one question. There are tons of backdrops, and you're capable of doing that on videos. Put a backdrop in. We all do it.
well, I mean, like, look. I want to make the point. Like, we're super low budget, but it
Yeah.
works for us. Like,
Yeah.
we're the underdog always,
Completely.
and
We're not like,
we're not going to invest in like this.
no, but this guy is supposed to be a
Okay,
comedian,
like,
and he's like,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, like, I'll spend money to record music in the studio, but
yes,
not like this. This is
no,
like,
not.
yeah.
But
So
this guy is a comedian performing in places for over 40 years, and this is what he does for this reason. And that, Joe, like, you have to understand, this is why we're picking on you. We're not picking on you because we're trying to make trouble. It's just like we're trying to like demonstrate to you, if you can't take a step back and see how like crazy this is.
well, this is not picking. This is talking.
Yeah. I mean, Pottery Barn, who thought of this idea?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where does he? What like? Where does this go? Like he's like, well, like, does he go like in his parlance? He must be like, well, I'll be on Route 130.
Maybe this is a guy that he found in Italy, and he said, "Oh, you live in New Jersey, really? Okay, well, why don't you do a skit with me, like, when I come back?" And then the guy was like, "Well, can't have it in my house." And Joe's like, "Can't have it in my house. We'll go to Pottery Barn." I don't know what he did, babe. Go to a restaurant, go to a pizzeria, sit in a car, sit outside in a park, like.
Look, all right. So we said we wanted to see the end of that bit. We saw the end of that bit.
And the thing is, I don't know, is this supposed to be funny that that's where he went? He doesn't even look like he's trying to be funny about it. Like another comedian would go and they would have a smirk on their face the entire time, and take things from the shelf and joke around that they're in potty bar. And there's a way to do this in a very funny way. Joe's not doing that at all.
No, I'm just happy it wasn't in a sporting goods store.